watching a lot of football too. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. That would be fun. All right, listen, y'all. It's the last Tuesday of the year. Last Tuesday of the year. We're going to take a look back, right? We're going to talk about our wins this year because it's good to celebrate everything, right? It may not feel good where we are, but it's a feeling, right? We are not our circumstances. We are not our conditions. We are not that, right? We are all on the road of becoming, right? So we had small wins through the year. So we're going to talk about our wins and then we're going to take a look forward. Is that all right? We're going to do that tonight. So we're going to take a look back. We're going to talk about our wins and we're going to take a look forward. So I pulled up this I from Fast Company and it talked about I think it's, I don't know, I was going to say 23, but I'll pull it up in a second. It talked about the most read work life articles. So we're going to go through some of the work articles and then we're going to look at some of the things coming for 2024. And then I think we should talk about our wins. I think it's important. It's super important. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you're on IG, come on over to YouTube. You can click the link in my bio. It says YouTube right there. And check us out. We over here chilling like we always do. Camille, I love it. Karaoke, Trivial Pursuit, Backgammon, Uno. Oh, Lord have mercy. We be up all night. We would be up all night. Jackie and Camille on the game. I don't know what I'm responsible for, y'all. I love games. I love games. Love, 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 love. Tom said, my bones ain't responding to snowboard. Somebody will be out there in the snow with me, making angels. Somebody's going to be out there with me. I know it. I know it. All right, let's take a look, y'all. Camille, I got you. I'm going to see. I'm going to see. I'm going to see. Don't forget. Don't forget now, because I'm going to say, see, y'all told me to do it. Don't forget. Don't forget. I got you. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. So this is from Fast Company. And as always, when I do the replay, I'm going to drop the link so you all, if you guys want to read this yourself, you absolutely can. This says this is Christmas Eve. This came out Christmas Eve. Did you have a career crisis this year? These are the most read work-life articles of 2023. Now, what is a career crisis? These are the 10 most popular work articles of 2023. It goes from recognizing red flags that you should quit to sabotaging your career by constantly apologizing. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. So we've made it past the darkest day of the year. And as we all, hopefully, take a pause during this week of 2023, this last week of 2023, it's a good time to look back and assess this year's work. Fast Company's most read work-life stories from 2023 give a glimpse into our collective struggles when it comes to what we prioritize in our working lives. Now, we're taking a look back, right? So this first one talks about 3 work red flags that mean it's time to quit. And I want you to drop in the comment if any of these 3 resonate with you. Now, deciding to quit your job is a huge decision. It can be tricky to know if you're making the right decision. So it's no wonder that this article pointing out these 3 red flags that mean it's time to quit is so popular. This was the most popular work-related article, y'all. Here's the red flags. Now, listen, we've all been there. We've all been there. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Where'd we go? Hold on. I'm already signed in. Don't do this to me. Now, oh, Lord. Hold on. I should have left it up. All right, we'll go back here. So the 3 red flags. So it talked about if you have a toxic work culture. That was the first one. And I'm going to have to, am I still sharing? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, because I want y'all to see this. I want you to see it. So give me a second. Give me a second. Let me log in. Let's look at hot dog. Hold on. We're coming. I should have left it up. They're making me log in. I always got something. All right, talk amongst yourself. Ain't that what they used to say in school? Talk amongst yourself. Hold on. I got the article. Trying to give me a hard time. But listen. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on, hold on. Copy. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. All right, here we go. Share my screen. Here we go. All right, let's talk about these red flags. Now, does this sound familiar? Check it out. We've all been there. You get hired, you're ecstatic. Things are new and opportunities are seemingly endless. Now, let me know if this sounds familiar. Drop in the chat if this sounds familiar to you. You dive into your work and tackle what's next to come while enthusiastically meeting colleagues and upper management. We've all been there. Your desk is full of welcome baskets and coffees, and your inbox is full of nice to meet you messages. If only the interview process provided a realistic snapshot of what a workplace is really like. If you're like me, you found yourself in circumstances where this honeymoon phase at an organization is interrupted by seemingly small events that grab your attention, whether it's a leader dismissing another executive, being added to an email chain that exhibits aggressive behavior or language, or witnessing signs of extreme burnout from colleagues. Feelings that a given job is the right fit can be silenced by conditions that weren't apparent throughout the hiring process. Now, how many of us have been in a hiring process where you didn't really notice any red flags? Not that it would be obvious, right? But we all been there. We're in a job, or we started a job, or we're currently in a job where this ain't all it's cracked up to be. Now, these are the red flags. You don't feel valued. That's number one. I want you to drop in the chat if any of these resonate with you. Not feeling valued is a serious red flag. This feeling can come in all kinds of circumstances, but often we feel valued when we're heard. Years ago, before digital nomads became an industry thing, this is working remote, I was working for a company on the West Coast. And a family member of mine on the East Coast was dying. I needed to get to the East Coast and work from home for a few weeks to be with my family. This was HR's response. Well, if you're in a situation where you cannot be at your desk, then we recommend taking time off. We cannot allow you to work remote. You crazy? Well, to me, this undermined my decision-making as a member of upper management and as a person who knows and can handle what's on my own plate. And as a human being, how could this company blindly be unwillingly to alter their views on remote working for this circumstance? Don't they trust me? Do they think I'm not able to work? By making me feel as if I was not trusted or understood, I then knew I had to move on. Anybody been there? I worked at some place like that very, very recently. I mean, they just went to remote work like 5 years ago. So that's one red flag. Anybody familiar with that? Here's the second red flag. You're tired all the time. This guy said, as a hobby, I'm an athlete and I'm an amateur boxer. I spend a lot of my time outside of work in the gym, and I know what it feels like to be tired. When training for a fight, you give up your entire physical being, waking up at 5, training vigorously for 6 days per week on top of a typical 9 to 5 certainly takes its toll. However, I also know from experience that mental stress can pack just as strong of a punch, and so can a draining job. Anybody got mental stress and be tired all the time? Did you know that's tied to your mentality? Does anybody know that's tied to your mentality? So that's the second red flag. If you're tired all the time. The third one is you're not learning anything new. This person says, at one point in my career, I stayed at a toxic agency long enough to realize that I had reached a point of no longer learning new skills. In fact, I was learning what not to do, which is still valuable, but certainly not what I'm looking for when I'm trying to be my best self. The reality is, in these modern times, jobs must come with a meaning. They must spark joy for you in some way or another. And often that joy comes from learning new skills and exploring new topics that excite you. When you find yourself in a position where these points of interest are metaphorically sitting on a shelf collecting dust, it's time to get out. What do we think about these red flags, y'all? Did it resonate with anyone? Sean said, yeah, I'm tired all the time. Tom says, all points are valid. I've learned to be kind to me and handle there you go. Handle your business, Tom. Handle your business. Listen, y'all, these are red flags. And if you're facing any of these, it may be time. It may be time, right? Let's keep going. I don't know if it's going to let me look at these, but let's look at these other top ones. The second one, now these are the top, how many is this? 10 most popular work life. A fail-proof trick to get your brain into the flow of every morning, according to psychologists. We'll keep going. New research reveals the 30 critiques holding women back from leadership that most men will never hear. How do we feel about that, ladies? Did you guys see the video with Taraji? That resonated with me so much. Now, I don't even think it's a gender thing, though, when it comes to what her issue is. But there's definitely some criteria there that, you know, holds people back, whether it's different groups or class of people. How do we feel about that? Now, again, we're going in order, and these are the top 10, right? What most workers found interesting in terms of articles. The other one is the must top skills. These are the top 20 must-have skills to put on your resume. Let's look at this one. Let's look at this one, because I think this is important, and you guys, you may get something out of this. I want to make sure you get that. Let me just make sure it's going to pop up on me. I think we talked about this, though. I think we talked about this. Let's see. Okay, top 20 skills that you must put on your resume. And I know we've done several videos on this. So if you're interested in this topic, I know there's several videos on the YouTube channel about this. Now, this comes when you're writing a good resume, right? You may find it difficult, kind of like a balancing act, right? Because you have so many experience, you have so much experience, so many skills, a ton of knowledge, right? Sometimes it can be a challenge to keep your resume length short and sweet while also including enough quality information to make a lasting impression. Now, this is a great definition. Quality information, y'all. Lasting impression is what we're after. Hiring managers will also hold a particular interest in the skill set you possess. This means it's very important to know what is relevant to the job when thinking of skills to list on your resume. And I know everybody in here knows this because we talk about this often. Hiring managers will also hold a particular interest in the skill set you possess. This means it's very important to know what is relevant to the job. Relevant is your key word here when thinking of skills to list on your resume. And though it goes without saying, we'll say it just in case, any job skills listed on your resume should be skills you truly possess, right? So how do you figure out which ones to put on? Hard skills versus soft skills. We won't go through that because we've talked about that before in depth. You can check out videos there. Just look for technical skills and hard skills, right? So there's also some soft skills: problem solving, critical thinking, flexibility, communication skills, teamwork, organization skills, creativity, emotional intelligence. That's really important, you all. Attention to detail and responsibility. It goes on to talk about the hard skills for your resume: digital skills. The list of professions that does not require you to use computers and certain types of software is very short. You could very likely break up digital skills. So knowing how to structure this and put this on your resume, again, we've talked about this. Data analysis, negotiation, mathematics. These are all skills that you want to have on your resume. It talks about looking for target keywords. You look at the job description. These are words that you want to have on your resume. All right. So again, we're talking about some of the top most read work life articles from 2023 as we take a look back. Another one was feeling younger than your actual age says about your outlook on life, how to deal with people who pretend to know more than you do, how and why you should create a backup plan for your career, a backup plan. And then 6 common mistakes that sabotage your likability in a job interview. I think that's a good one to discuss, your likability in a job interview. How many of you have people on your job you don't like? Anybody have people on your job you don't like? IG, come on over to YouTube. You can click the link in my bio. It says YouTube. Go ahead and click that button. Come on over. We're over here, okay? How many of you have people at work you don't like? So that likability factor is huge. It's huge, right? Now, you don't go to work to be liked, but you definitely, if you're interviewing for an internal role or external role, they got to like you. And that's really the first thing they assess, right? Even for promotions or for a stretch project, they're looking to see, do I really like Tivia like that? Can I see myself working with her like that? And I think we discount that because we're trying to put so much on our resume and we're trying to talk the talk and we're trying to say the fancy words and do all the things and they want to know, I don't even like her. Are you likable? Would you hire you? Linson waving. Would you hire yourself? Sean, would you hire you? Camille, would you hire yourself? Be honest. You ain't got to say it out loud. Would you hire you? You know how you work. That likability factor is huge. It's huge. It's huge. Now, let's take a look. Now, I'm going to drop the links if you guys want to go through these and click on this. It's not letting me go to the articles. I don't know why. I think it's the browser that I'm using. But when I drop the replay, you can click on the link. I'll have it in there. But let's take a look forward, and then we'll talk about our wins, okay? So we're going to look at another set. And there's 34 of these, but we won't go through all of them. Now, that was looking back, right? Most read articles of 2023 regarding work, it talked about the number one, which was red flags. So that means that a lot of people that are in corporate were looking at red flags when it comes to transitioning, when it comes to making a pivot, when it comes to doing something different. So it was top of mind for a lot of people in 2023. So this was Fast Company who said, everybody was looking for, what should I have seen? What are the red flags I need to look for? And again, you can't gauge that often when you're in an interview because people, just like you're going to put your best foot forward, employers going to put their best foot forward. But there's certain questions you can ask. You want to do deep dive research. And I know that's not the fun stuff. We always talk about that, but that can save you from being in a toxic environment and have you back out in the market in the next 30, 60, 90 days after you spend all this time quitting your job, giving your resignation, negotiating salary, starting somewhere new, and now you back out in the market. That's not fun. So you want to make sure this time around, if you're considering a pivot or transitioning or elevating to go into leadership, you want to make sure that the role is aligned to your goals, to your values. You don't have to fit into the job. You want to make sure it fits you. It's aligned to your work and your life and the balance and the quality of life. If you like getting calls that, the guy was saying something about being on call, or he had to go to the East Coast because somebody was dying. Are you in a job are you hesitant to say, I got to leave or I need to work remote? You want to know what the flexibility is, if there's any flexibility, right, with that employer. How would they handle this situation? It's okay to ask those questions because you want to know, especially if you have people dependent upon you. Some of us have aging parents or, people in our family that depends on us and we have to be there on occasion. So those are the things you want to consider if you're considering a pivot or a move or transition in 2024. Really doing your due diligence on the front end so you don't have to suffer the consequences on the back end. All right. So be mindful of that. Be thoughtful in that. And I know that's not customary. We're accustomed to just going to the job board, taking the interview and running, being in a desperation mode. We have to stop that because when we get desperate, it doesn't help us on the back end. We have to start thinking about the back end, funding our financial future, right? Funding our quality of life, right? Positioning ourselves up for the future. And if we keep running and being in desperation mode and waiting until something pops off, we're going to always be in a state of survival mode. I don't like that for us. Too many people that I talk to are in a desperation mode. Can you help me? Can you help me? I get emails all the time. And I think in my head, how did you get to this point? How do you get to this point? You can't get on the call with me and say, well, I got to think about it. You've been thinking about it. That's why we're here now. Right? You've been thinking about it. Don't allow yourself to get to that point. If you know what, before I get totally burnt out and exhausted and stressed, let me start working on this now. I talked to a gentleman last week and it was all over I felt so bad for him. Like it was all over his face. The scenario he told me, I knew exactly what he was talking about because it happened to me. It happened to me. And I'm like, it's a shame that it's still happening, but it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. And the things that he's dealing with in the work called bright guy, totally not his fault. Because I can say it now, hindsight, right? But when you in it, you can't see it. That's why it's good to have somebody that's not in it and not close to it to take a look and say, what, help me out of this. And I'm like, okay, I can see it all over you. All over you. And it's a grown, big man. And he's just had it. All right. So don't get to that point. Don't let yourself get to a point of desperation. If you feel in your bones right now, I got the window open, y'all. If you feel in your bones right now, or in your spirit right now, in your psyche right now, that listen, I know I got to do something in 2024. Get with somebody, talk to somebody, and because sometimes we're too close to it. Get a different perspective. What do you see in this? That's exactly what he said. I can't see anything right now because I can't talk to he said I can't talk to my dad. I can't talk to nobody understands. And I just broke it down for him. Right? All right, now let's look ahead. Let's look ahead, y'all. Let's look ahead. Right? We talked about, and then I want to talk about some wins. Because we have that. And I think it's important to do, just like the title said, right? We're talking about wins. We're going to reflect back and we're going to look ahead. So let's take a look. Now, this is a list that comes out every year on LinkedIn. And again, there's 34 of these looking ahead. Here's some things for you to consider. Now, this is a good place to take notes. We were not going to go through all of these because some of these pertain to businesses. 34 big ideas that will change our world in 2024. This came out on December 6th, 2023. This happens every year, December 6th. LinkedIn, connect with them and you'll get this list as well, okay? Let's look at this. Some of the predictions, some of this we talked about, right? And our main goal when we come together on Tuesday, every week, is to get prepared and stay prepared, right? So we don't have to get prepared. There will be another year. There will be 2025. Then there'll be 2026. We don't want to be in a mode of always preparing. Let's get there. Let's position ourselves. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Okay, number one, top one. Y'all know, right? We talk about this all the time. This should not be a surprise to us. Not up in here. Y'all know Kels give y'all all the tea. Living to age 100 will become a lot less rare. What are the odds of living to age 100 or more? A few decades ago, such longevity seemed more like a fable than a reality. The global centenarian count tops 500,000 and could be headed as high as 3.5 million in 2050. Now, what does this mean? This is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform for corporate career-minded individuals. So why would they put this on their platform, y'all? Do you have the funds to help you last till you 100? Is it going to carry you with inflation? Are we going to be able to do that? Are you able to fund your future? Now, this isn't a bad thing. This is a good thing. We're taking care of ourselves. 100 is a long time. It's never been seen before. How long have we been talking about this? This isn't new. That's number one. Let's keep going. I'm going to skip by some of this. Again, the links will be in the description if you want to go. Again, some of these are for businesses, but I grabbed the ones that pertain to us. Number 5, we'll see the quiet rise of backdoor remote jobs. What does this even mean, y'all? Fully on site, 3 days per week in the office, maybe that's the formal requirement listed in the job listing or in your company's return to office mandate, which an increasing number of employers try to enforce this year. But in 2024, the number of backdoor remote jobs will discreetly multiply. Who's ready? For jobs that can be done remotely, companies that are technically they're hybrid, or in person will quietly allow remote, check this out, remote work for who, y'all? Who will they allow it for? The right candidate or what, y'all? High performing employee. Now, y'all know Kelly been telling us about this for how long? She get on my nerves. She's been telling us about these hypos and high potential. She did a whole session on high potential. She broke it down for us. She talked about it all year. The right candidate. So if you out there looking, or if you currently working, high performing employees. So this is a remote work loophole. It may satisfy employees, but once word gets out, companies will have to contend with accusations of unfairness. In a workplace where RTO is the default, what or who determines who gets the privilege to work remotely? This is 2024, y'all. You got about 5 days. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, we're going to scoot down. We're going to scoot down. Again, you can read all of this if you want to. I'm going to drop the link when I drop the replay tomorrow. A lot of this is talking about different companies, but I pulled out the ones. I wrote down the numbers just for us. Here's one, number 14. Fear of being obsolete will force employers to the bargaining tables. What do they mean? Check it out. From Hollywood writers to Starbucks baristas, nurses to factory workers, nearly 500,000 workers participated in mass walkouts throughout the U.S. in 2023. In what became known as Hot Strike Summer. Hot Strike Summer. Y'all know we saw a lot of strikes this year. The writers and now it's the auto workers. Somebody else was just telling me it was a walkout somewhere else. Maybe it was Starbucks. The U.S. wasn't alone. There were picket lines in the UK, Canada, Iceland, and Europe. Listen, y'all, times have changed. I'm not saying it. It's saying it right here. I'm not saying it. Listen, times have changed. And the model employer developed and exploited during an early time is no longer relevant in 2023. Guess who said this? White House Secretary of Labor, Seth Harris. Y'all follow him on LinkedIn. Go follow him. He's going to keep you updated on what's happening. It's an election year. You want to know what's going on, right? One underlying theme connecting all these protests, the fear of being obsolete. Listen, y'all, as the evolution of technology and AI underscore insecurities over the future of human labor. Insecurities, and some people talk about security. I want to be secure. Kelly, I'm scared of jumping out there because I will take security over my freedom. Well, this saying right here that AI is underscoring the insecurities over the future of human labor. But listen, no matter how much money is poured into AI, a Goldman Sachs report forecasts 200 billion global investments by 2025. That's about a year, right? Evolution can't outpace workers' discontent. Employers will have no choice but to abate workers' fear of being obsolete with here is the people that will be around. This is it in the nutshell, with a particular focus on upskilling if they want to avoid a fresh wave of strikes in 2024. So, who will they allow the personal and professional development? Who will they give that to inside of their businesses? Who do you think will get the opportunity for upskilling at your job? I'm gonna let that sit there. Who do you think? We just talked about it, right? Let's look at two more. We're gonna go to number 16. This is talking about Gen Z and their employers will face off in a great negotiation. There's tensions between young workers and their bosses could come to a head in 2024, and everyone will lose if the coming great negotiation doesn't end with healthy compromise. Compromise, warns demographics expert Bradley Sharp. Oh, I like Bradley. I like Bradley. Companies will need to rethink their concept of employee loyalty now that, oh, really? Now that a 9-to-5 job on its own no longer offers the kind of economic promise it once did. So the young workers are understanding what we all already kind of know. We need more money, right? And this whole 9-to-5 and no remote, that's off the table. So that's what this is talking about. Let's look at one more. Let's look at one more, and then we'll just have some dialogue, right? 21. Let's look at 21. Employers will combat job applicants' use of AI with, never fear, more AI. While people continue to worry that generative AI will someday replace them in the workforce, employers are already encountering overly embellished resumes and other recruiting headaches created by the technology. I'm gonna say it again. If you're in this community, and if you're new to me, then you don't know. I'm gonna give you a pass. But if you're in here, we talk about this often. I told y'all don't rely on ChatGPT. I'm not saying don't use it. You don't want to be disqualified for a job you clearly qualified for. And this is internal or external because you went and got AI to write the whole thing and you didn't edit it and tweak it and make it personalized and human. Don't do it. Generative AI has been used to create sophisticated fake resumes, cover letters, or even video interviews, making it challenging for employers to discern genuine applications from AI-generated ones. Expect employers to deploy AI fightback using techniques like reverse image search, voice analysis, behavioral analysis, and other detection tools to spot fakes. Don't do it, y'all. It's not worth it. Y'all thought I was just saying something. I know you did. Don't do it. All right? Even if employers can root out deceptive applications, the damage to AI-powered recruiting may already be done, depending on how these models are trained. That's because embellished resumes may influence AI models to rank similar applicants favorably, creating systemic bias and harming truthful applicants. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to get caught up in this. I didn't say it. Y'all see it right here in writing. All right? How we feel about this? Let me see what y'all saying. How we feel about this? Couple things to look forward to, right? For 2024. We talk about this. These are things I put y'all in the ahead of all of this. Everything we talked about, you already know. You know we're getting older. You already know because I've been talking about it for 2 years, right? So if you're in here, you already know this. You already know that you should be positioning yourself, right? I'm working with a lot of you already with positioning yourself in the market, right? We know that we're getting older. We know about ChatGPT. We know that we need to put some personalization and some relevancy in our documents. We know this already, right? I want you to see it in writing so you know I'm just not speaking. I know you guys don't. But for those that are watching the replay and you have no idea who I am, we talk about this years in advance so that you're ready and that you're positioned, right? And this is what we're looking forward to in 2024 and beyond. So we took a look back, we took a look forward. And I think it's always good for us to talk about some of our wins for 2023. And as you reflect, right, like we just did, and we reflected on 2023, and we looked at some of the most read articles of 2023 as it relates to work. And they talked about a lot of people. The first number one thing they were looking at is what are the red flags when it comes to work and just selecting an employer inside my work? What should I be concerned about? And why was most of the working population so intrigued or so engaged with this article? It tells a story, right? It tells a story. So as you reflect back, let's look at some of our wins. How many of you had interviews this year? Whether you got the interview or not, that's a win. Drop in the comments. Let's talk about some wins. Whether you got it or not, because listen, there's somebody that wish they just had an interview. If you got an interview, that's a win. Drop wins that you received career related this year. Think back, think back, think back. First quarter, January, February, March. Second quarter, April, May, June. Maybe you got an interview. Maybe you got your resume done. Maybe you got a promotion. Maybe you're making more money. But I want you to be proud of yourself in 2023. You may not be where you want to be, but you're definitely not where you used to be. Can we celebrate ourselves? Can we celebrate ourselves as we go out in 2023? Can we do that? Can we give ourselves a pat? Can we give ourselves a hand clap? Like we did okay because we're still here. I think we take for granted. Some of us that are afraid of our age and getting older, guess what? We always talk about it. It's a blessing to get this old. And we ain't even old. We should be very proud of ourselves. We should be thankful, one, that we're here. We should be grateful. We made it. I may not be where I want to be. And Lord knows I want to leave this job. But I do have one. Lord knows I want to make more money. I do want to make more money. But I ain't missed a day of eating. I sure ain't. And my bills have been paid. Right? Can we be grateful? Can we share? Can we share? Can we share? I think here's what happens when you write it down. It makes yourself subconsciously remember, you know what? Yeah, that my boss make me mad, or the environment is toxic, or gosh, I don't want to go back in January, but I do have somewhere to go. I do have somewhere to go. I do want to be in leadership, and I know it's my confidence. That's something I'm going to work on this year. I'm going to work on that in 2024. I'm going to work on my confidence because I know I get one of these things called life, and I'm going forward. So you know what? I made a decision. That's a win for me because typically I wouldn't even make a decision. I sit back, I get a ton of information. I watch a bunch of webinars. I sit on YouTube. I jot down a lot of information and I don't execute. But I invested in the course, or I invested in the webinar, or I'm going to go and get that certification. Let me see your wins. Let me see. What are y'all saying? What are y'all saying? Clifford said CVS and Walgreens Pharmacy did a walkout too. I knew somebody did. I wasn't sure. Sean said, I finally woke up to the fact that I have been sleepwalking through my career. Thanks to Kelly and this community. Oh, I love you. There you go. I love it. Celebrate yourself, Sean. Listen, being woke is a good thing, my friend, because there's a lot of people sleep. There's a lot of people sleeping. They're sleeping on themselves. And you did that. You did that. You took the initiative to join this group. Y'all take the time to jump on this thing. Y'all could be doing a lot of things. Right? And that's why I do my best to bring you something you can use. It may be, it may be one thing, but you walk away with something. That's my goal, right? I value people's time and I value you all. So I want you to celebrate yourselves. Camille said, I'm grateful for the job I have, but it's time to move on and I know it. I've been preparing myself and I'm ready to fight from, child, I got to post that, Camille. Stop it. You're going to make me cry this doggone evening, last Tuesday. I love that so much. I'm grateful for the job that I have. I'm grateful. I remember praying for the job. I remember I wanted it so bad and was waiting for them to send me the offer letter. I'm grateful. I remember how bad I wanted. Sometimes we forget, y'all. We forget. And we let our egos take over and say, I need to move on. I need to do this, and this ain't this. And this. Remember when we wanted it? Remember when we prayed for it? Remember we was hoping and wishing for something? She said, it's time to move on, and I know it. and she's preparing and she's ready. Listen, listen. It's coming to you, my friend, because you're taking the action. We are in an information age, y'all. It's so much information. We can take we can take information all day. We can take information all day long. I'm like that. We love to learn. We love to learn. But I'm telling you, the difference maker is executing. That's the difference maker. That's going to set you way ahead of anybody else because people don't want to do nothing. That's the difference maker. I love that, Camille. Sandra, what's up, girl? I got to travel to Washington, D.C. twice for work. I was asked to present to the entire organization on a monthly call about my community outreach activities for June. Oh, I love it. Go ahead, son. Y'all remember when Sandra came on and said, hey, y'all, I'm traveling to DC. Remember, it was a few months back, right, Sandra? Listen, y'all, now, not once, she's been there twice. And she's was asked to present to the entire organization on a monthly call about my community outreach activities for Juneteenth. Mark this down, Sandra. This is amazing. This is an achievement. Presenting to the entire organization. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Way to go. Super, 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 super proud. Celebrate, y'all. Celebrate your wins. That's right, Sandra. That's right. I love it. I love it. Jackie, grateful to have had a savings account that sustained me during this year of employment challenges. Looking forward to harvesting seeds in 2024 that were, ooh, I love it. Stop it. Talking about them seeds, Jack. Grateful to have had a savings account that sustained me during this year of employment challenges. Looking forward to harvesting seeds in 2024 that were planted in 2023. Listen, that's a whole sermon, Jackie. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I love it. She's grateful. I love seeing this, y'all. Grateful, 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 grateful. I know for some it's been challenging this year. Listen, we're not downplaying that. We're not taking it lightly. I know. I get the emails. I feel y'all. I know it. But you made it. You here. You made it. And you ate. And you got lights. And you got internet because you're watching me. Grateful. 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 I love it, Jackie. I love it. I love it. Love it. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Elizabeth, quote, there will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let it be you. Stop it. I'm going to throw this at you, Elizabeth. You know I'm going to fight you. Elizabeth said, there will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let it be you. Know your worth. You see what Elizabeth said? Know your worth, y'all. Who was I listening to? And they were talking about their value. Oh my gosh. Who was it? Somebody. I can't think of who it was, but they were saying, I don't know, but y'all saw the Taraji thing, right? I talked about this at the top of the hour. And when she was sitting in that chair, I felt her through that screen. I still feel for that woman. And I told my daughter, I said, it reminds me so much of corporate. She said, I hit the ceiling. She said, I did the thing. I did it. I hit the ceiling. What she got the Oscar, I think, or whatever it is. She said, I did it. I'm still getting paid the same. You got to know your worth. That woman knows her worth, but I know the fight she's in. I know she's riding the fence. I remember working for this company and I went to our other location in another state and I was sitting at the table in the conference room and I got to go, right? I got to go. They were talking about my boss. And I was crazy about my boss. I had to sit there and I had to smile through it. Right? And they were talking about her like a dog. And I remember coming back and I remember even before I went and I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to get rid of my boss. What do I do? What do you do? What do you do? That's why it reminded me when Taraji was talking. I mean, I know was she in between Oprah and Oprah, my girl. Like that's one of my, in my head, she's my mentor. But if you look at that video, she's in a hard position. She's in a hard position because I know she's like, I don't want to lose everything. I wasn't getting nothing. I wasn't getting a lot, but I was getting something. But now, if I don't do whatever I'm supposed to do or walk the walk, I may not be getting nothing. It's a hard thing, the politics, y'all. This is why I firmly believe in positioning yourself and creating the life that you want. I believe in it. I believe in it. You got to create what you want. Sandra said, yes, I'm very thankful. Camille said, I know that's right, Elizabeth. Elizabeth said, I got interviewed and got selected for a new job by the grace of God. I love it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. There we go. There we go. In seed time, learn, and harvest time, teach, and winter, enjoy. I love it. Congrats. Congrats. Linton said, it's been a challenging time. Yes, but God's got us. I love it, Linton. That's right. That's right. That's right, y'all. That's right. That's right, y'all. I love it. God has got us. God's got us. That's why it's always good to reflect. And listen, if you hear, excuse me, if you're here and you're able to see me and hear me, you have so much to be thankful and grateful for. If you made it here, there's a reason, there's a purpose that he has on your life just for you. And it's just for you specifically. Your goal, and this is what I've learned for myself that God put on my life, is to figure out what is the purpose that he has for me. What is the calling? And I know for a fact I'm walking in it right now. It took me a minute to get here. I know for a fact. I know for a fact. And it's such a freeing feeling. And the only way that I got here was just being obedient and listening and having faith. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. Faith is a thing. I've been on the faith walk for the past 24 months. And one of these days I'll be able to just tell my story and share about this faith walk. But I think it's a very personal thing. And until God releases you to do that, right? Then you stay on the walk, you stay on the journey. And the one thing I always tell my daughters, 2 words, keep going. No matter what it looks like, y'all, you are not your condition. You are not your circumstances. No matter what it looks like. No matter what it looks like. You may not have a job. You may not have a car. You may have $2 in the bank. I don't care what it looks like. I'm here to tell you as a witness, as a testimony, keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. I promise you, when you get on the other side, you're going to see what all of it was for. My whole corporate career, I can see clearly why I went through all the things I went through. I can see clearly now. You won't see it while you're in it. That's what faith is. You won't see it while you're in it. But he want to see if you'll keep going, if you truly believe. I'm a witness, y'all. I don't have to lie and make it up. I'm a witness. Keep going. She is dropping them gems. She is. Clifford said that's something Reginald Lewis says in his book. Yeah, keep going. I'm telling you, keep going. You're going to be so happy that you did. Listen, I want to tell y'all before we get into 2024 and wrapping up, I want to thank you all for rocking with your girl. I appreciate you. Y'all keep me to keep going. Y'all make me keep going. Y'all make me keep going. And I'm grateful for each and every last one of you. Grateful. Y'all know I took some time off in the beginning of this year, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to. I didn't know what I wanted to do, if I'm being totally honest. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But y'all kept coming up in my spirit, and y'all were sending emails. And let me just say this for some that may watch the replay. On, I don't know what day it was, but I was looking for an email from someone, and it was in my spam. And lo and behold, there was about 30 emails that were in there from back in May when I sent an email to everyone on my email list to say, hey, y'all, I'm going to come back online. I've been away. I missed y'all. Da, 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 da. All these stories, all these stories. Y'all know me. Of course, I got emotional, but I hadn't seen them. But I think it was, I think it was, it was divinely meant to happen that way. I didn't know that they were there back in May. I started to email people and be like, I'm so sorry. I didn't see your email. That y'all, they were telling me all these things that were happening, and I needed it in that moment. So I want to thank y'all. I want to thank you guys. And listen, we got a ways to go, but we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do it together. We got each other's back. I appreciate you all as well. Listen, go into 2024 being safe, being thankful, being grateful. You are not your condition or your circumstance. Just stay on the road of becoming. As long as you're becoming and you're doing something to continually make yourself better than you were yesterday, better than you were a month ago, better than you were in 2023, better than you were a minute ago. We're here. We're just like a plant. You should be growing. If you're not, you're just existing. You're not living. Challenge yourself in 2024 to grow, to do something. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't sit around and watch everybody else online living and traveling and making money and throwing dollars up and driving cars. Don't watch everybody else. Turn that thing off and focus on you. Like Elizabeth was saying, know who you are and what your worth is. Go get what you want, what you deserve, what you believe and desire. You got to go get it because it's not coming to you. That faith we just talked about, it also says without works is dead. He ain't trying to hear you on your knees crying about give me, give me, give me. You got to go get it. You got to make things happen. You got to take the time. You got to take your money. You got to take whatever it takes to make things happen. Don't sit around and wait. That's not what this life is about. That's not what this is. That's not it. Go and make something happen for yourselves, for your family. There's people depending on you. Right? You may be the only one. And I know sometimes all of us, right? Y'all just like me, right? We carry a load, some of us. Sometimes it gets heavy, but he's not going to give us more than we can bear. And this isn't a preachy thing. This is real life. But don't just exist. Create the life you want. Heck, if I can do it, a little old girl from Illinois that used to work in this distribution center and make $9.80 an hour. I made what I made working for somebody. And I decided that I want to create the life that I want. And I'm not saying get a business or quit your job or anything like that, but I started to create what I wanted out of life. That's the only way it's going to happen, y'all. It's an election year next year. Policies and labor laws and things like that are going to change. Are you in position? Are you still thinking about it? Are you still saying, oh, I can do this. I can do this myself. I can fix this. If you could, it probably would be done by now. Stop waiting. Let's make some stuff happen in 2024. All right, y'all? I love you very much. Let's go into 2024. We got a lot to do. Be safe. And I'll see y'all on the other side. Bye. Take care, y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.